Once again, this morning, I have the honor to preside over the special session of the World Water Organization's Conference on Health, Water, and Global Health. And here, during this special session, I'm joined on my left side by Professor Dr. Harold O., the chairman of the World Water Organization, and on my right side, our honorable former governor of New Jersey, Ms. Christine Whitman, and I welcome her here, taking the time, trying to share some of her great experience and thoughts with us on the question of water and global health. For your information, our distinguished former governor of New Jersey, Madam Whitman, is also a former, as you may appreciate, former administrator of U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for the Office of the President of the United States of America, and also chairing the Whiteman Strategy Group Water Policy Institute. You're most welcome, Madam Governor.
Well, thank you, Ambassador, very much. I appreciate that. And I would like to start by thanking our host, the World Water Organization, for bringing together this kind of a group of leaders. This, to me, is a wonderful example of what WWO can do in its ability to mobilize leadership that's working to overcome the water challenges that we face in the world. And these are global challenges. I think we should make no mistake about it. These are not challenges that are relegated to the developing world. They are global challenges for both developed and developing world. And I venture to say that the people who are here today are drawn together by a dream that we all share, a dream that has access to safe, clean water and sanitation for everyone, so that, among other things, children can grow up to have healthy lives and be productive citizens and be all that they can be. The good thing and the wonderful thing about this conference is its dedication to promoting technological advancement, public-private partnerships, good governance, and other solutions for achieving a worldwide water sustainability. I have often said, and I've been saying it for years now, that the #1 environmental crisis that we face in the world today is water, quantity and quality. Climate change may be the issue that attracts the most attention on the world stage, but as a practical, on-the-ground, day-to-day environmental challenge, water is the one that, to me, supersedes everything, even if it is impacted by climate change. Don't take away from that for a minute. Capacity building, which is the subject of the next session, is, I believe, going to be a critical part toward achieving the goals and the progress that we are seeking in this area. When we woke up this morning, whether it was in our own homes or in our hotel rooms, we turned on the faucets and we got as much water as we wanted. It wasn't a problem. Most people in the developed world never give any thought to water. To them, it's a natural thing. We take water for granted. It's like the air. It's something that nature provides, and we don't have to worry any further than that. And the reality, as the people here at this conference know, water is neither infinite nor is it inexhaustible. In fact, our water services are in trouble. Population increases, food pressure for increased capacity and development of food production, rapid urbanization and aging infrastructure all are putting enormous pressure and strain on the world's water supplies and the systems that deliver it. In 2005, 2.8 billion people lived in areas under severe water stress. By 2030, that number is expected to reach 3.9 billion, or 47% of the world's population, and that's according to the OECD's Environmental Outlook. That will happen by 2030, and that's without even beginning to factor in the impact that climate change may have on water and its scarcity. And as I mentioned at the beginning, the challenges are not relegated to the world's poorest countries. In the developed world, significant investment is needed to maintain aging water structures and to meet the higher quality and health standards that we are constantly evolving. It's an investment beyond the capabilities of most governments and water utilities. In the developing world, extending the benefits of safe drinking water and basic sanitation represents one of the great humanitarian missions of our times, with millions of people lacking access to these basic necessities. As the UN Water noted just last month, more people die each year from water-related diseases than from all other forms of violence, including war. In a world today where we see war almost everywhere we look, the challenges faced by the developed and the developing worlds may be different, but more and more the conclusions that they're reaching on how to address these issues in both worlds are the same, and that is that the problem is too big for the public sector alone to solve. It can't be done. And the answer isn't just more money, although that, of course, is desperately needed wherever you look. It also requires better governance, improved financial planning, more efficient use of resources, broader outreach to stakeholders and others who have a share in the system, and more organizational capacity building. They're all required if we're going to be able to solve the problems and the challenges that face us. Public-private partnerships, private business, and local governments working together can sometimes be a catalyst for new investment and some of the other reforms that are required. I realize that the idea of bringing private enterprise to the table on water services makes many people very uneasy. After all, water isn't like most goods and services produced or provided by the private sector. First of all, it's absolutely essential to life, and secondly, it's something provided by nature. So people don't think that there's a role for the private sector. In his recent book, Michael Rouse, the former president of the International Water Association, describes a moment at the Kyoto Water Forum in 2003 when protesters disrupted a panel where you had the private sector discussing their role in providing water. And essentially what these protesters said is, water is essential, it's natural, and it should be provided for free. And Rouse recounts how the water minister from Swaziland answered them by saying basically, yeah, water's free if you want to take your bucket and go up the mountain to the source. But if you want me to provide it to you, if you want me to provide for collection and delivery and cleaning that water and having it come to your home, then you're going to have to pay. It's going to cost something to do that, to reach that outcome. So while we can all agree that water is a special product, we also need to recognize that a sustainable model of cost recovery is absolutely essential even in the poorest parts of the world. We can't solve the problem without that. Without it, humanitarian progress in developing nations will frankly be impossible, while our aging systems in the developed world will continue to just fall apart as they are today. The Johannesburg Declaration on Sustainable Development, adopted in 2002 at the World Summit, recognized the limits on the public sector's capacity and endorsed the formation of public-private partnerships between private business and local governments to address the world's economic and environmental challenges. Public-private partnerships are clearly a vital way to encourage humanitarian progress in the developing world and to helping the developed world meet its needs and the challenges that it sees. No matter what you may feel about it, there's just no escaping the fact that the job of building and maintaining water services, delivering them where they're needed, is too large and too complex for government to handle it alone.